Hare Krishna. Can you hear my voice? Am I audible? Okay, let's start. Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna Preshthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swaminiti Namine. Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare. Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna. So thank you all very much for joining today's session. We have been discussing from the 18th chapter of Bhagavad Gita. We have been discussing about the more confidential knowledge of Gunibhuta Bhakti, the gradual elevation from Sakama Karma to Nishkama Karma to Jnana Yoga to eventually the Brahma Bhuta stage. We discussed that. And in the previous section, we did discuss Pradhani Bhuta Bhakti, more confidential knowledge where Bhakti is predominant, Karma Jnana Yoga is secondary. Okay. So we did discuss that. Tameva Sharanam Gaccha Sarva Bhavena Bharata Tat Prasadat Param Shantim Sthanam Prapsati Shashvatam. He talks about how by surrendering to that Supreme Lord one attains Vaikuntha by practice of Pradhani Bhuta Bhakti where Bhakti is predominant. Then he says, in this way I have described to you, O Arjuna, the Guhyatara knowledge. So considering this thoroughly, whatever I have, the whole Bhagavad Gita I have presented, considering this thoroughly, do whatever you wish to do. But before you conclude that, I wish to mention what is the Guhyatama once more. Even though I have mentioned it before, but I would like to clearly mention it once before. What is the Guhyatama knowledge? Okay. Sarva Guhyatamam Bhuyah Shrunume Paramam Vachah Ishtosi me Dridamiti Tato Vakshami Te Hitam. For your benefit, I am going to tell you what is the suprememost knowledge once more. Okay, before you take that, before you make a choice of your own. Okay, so Manmana Bhava Madbhakto Madhyaji Mam Namaskuru Mame Vaishyasi Satyam Te Pratijane Priyosi Me. So Bhava Madbhakto, being my devotee, Manmana, offer your mind to me. Madhyaji, offer articles to me in worship. Mam Namaskuru, offer respects to me. Pratijane, it is my promise that Mame Vaishyasi Satyam Te, that without a doubt you will come to me. Priyosime, because you are most dear to me. Okay. So, yeah, so that's what he says. That and here, commenting on this, Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur says, the phrase Bhava Madbhakto means being my devotee, think of me. Okay. The Lord says this to exclude the other possibilities. Okay. So, which means Manmana Bhava Madbhakto means your meditation should be devotional meditation, not the Jnana Yoga meditation or the Ashtanga Yoga meditation, not that kind of meditation. Therefore, he clarifies, Manmana Bhava Madbhakto. Okay. That is being clarified here. He does not mean be a Jnani or be a yogi and meditate on me. Or the phrase Manmana can mean give your mind as a gift to me. Shama Sundar with moon-like face, with shining locks of hair and beautiful eyebrows, raining nectar in the form of glances of sweet mercy. Give your mind to me, which means gift your mind to me. Itimati rupakalpita vitrishna. Bhagavati satvata-pungave vibhumni. Swasukam upagate kvachit vihartum. Prakritim upeyushri yad bhava pravaha. As Bhishma Dev offers his prayers. I am offering my mind as a gift to you. Like that, he says. So, Manmana means please gift your mind to me. Please offer your mind as a gift to me. That's what it means. And then Bhava Madbhakta can mean and give all your senses, such as ears, to me. Perform worship of me, Bhava Madbhaktaha, using all the senses with such services as hearing, chanting, seeing my murti, cleaning and anointing my temple, picking flowers and offering me garlands, ornaments, umbrella and chamara. Okay. So that is the meaning of Manmana Bhava Madbhakta. First give your mind to me, then give all your senses to me. Then he says, Madhyaji. Give me objects such as Gandha, flowers, incense, lamp, and Naivedya. And be my worshipper. Perform my worship. Madhyaji. Okay, that is the meaning of Madhyaji. Okay. Be my worshipper and perform my worship. Manmana Bhava Madbhakto Madhyaji. And then the long says, Mam Namaskuru. Or just give me respect, that's all. Falling on the ground with the whole body, offer respects by touching the body to the ground with the 8 limbs. Ashtanga, Ashtanga, Namaskar. Of these 4, which is thinking of me with the mind, serving me with the senses, worshipping me with items, and offering respects to me with the whole body, do all of them or any of them and you will attain me. Mame Vaishyasi, Satyam Te. It is my promise that you will attain me. That's what. Make an offering of your mind, your senses, or items of worship unto me, and I make an oath to you that I will give myself to you. And that is the meaning of Mame Vaishyasi. You will come to me means the real meaning is that I will offer myself to you. Mame Vaishyasi. That is the meaning of that. Mame Vaishyati Satyam Te Pratijane Priyosime. The word Satyam implies something of which there is no doubt. According to the Amarakosha, Satyam means an oath and truth. Well, the people born in the land of Mathura make such oaths every sentence. Someone may say, okay, oh, we know these Mathura people. They keep making these kind of promises, and we know how much they, fulfill those promises like that. That is true. In that case, under oath, I declare that you are dear to me, Priyosime. No one cheats a person who is dear to himself. So I will definitely not cheat you. Please do not worry. So this is what Krishna has mentioned. Manmana bhava madbhakto madhyaji mam namaskuru. Mame vaishyati satyam te pratijane priyosime. So this is where we ended our discussion last Friday. So we are going to continue this discussion further now. If there are any quick discussion points, comments, questions based on whatever we discussed last week or whatever we have summarized today, we will take it right now. Okay. If there are no further discussion points, comments, or questions, let us start today's discussion. We are going to discuss the most important, one of the 2 most important verses of Bhagavad Gita. Let us start. So Krishna says, Sarvadharman parityajya mamekam sharanam vraja aham tvam sarva papebhyo mokshayishyami ma shuchah. Sarva dharman parityajya, giving up all dharmas, mam ekam sharanam vraja, just surrender unto me alone. Aham tvam sarva papebhyo mokshayishyami, I will deliver you from all the sins. Ma shuchah, please do not worry. Okay. Giving up all other dharmas, just surrender unto me alone, and I will deliver you from all your sins. Please do not worry. This is what Krishna says. And it's a legendary purport that Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur writes to this particular verse. He says, why is Krishna speaking this verse? Because Arjuna is asking this question. So Arjuna is asking, am I supposed to perform the meditation and other processes along with my Varnashram duties or without them? This is the question that Arjuna is asking. You said, Manmana bhava madbhakto madhyaji mam namaskuru. You said that I have to um, meditate on you, become your devotee and all that. So along with doing all these things, should I do my Varnashram duties or not? This is the question that Arjuna is asking Krishna. Now Krishna's response. Krishna says, giving up all duties of Varna and Ashrama, Sarva Dharman Parityajya, just surrender only to me. So now one should not say that Parityajya means Sanyasya, that is to adopt the sannyas order, because Arjuna was a Kshatriya and not qualified for sannyas. So sannyas, the sannyas ashram or karma sannyas was only for um, uh, it was only for the Brahmanas. Karma sannyas is not for Kshatriyas, Vaishyas, and Shudras. So if you say Sarvadharman Parityajya means take up sannyas, so then this does not apply to Arjuna because Arjuna is a Kshatriya. Okay. So now, as well, it should not be said that Lord used Arjuna just to instruct all other people who are not Kshatriyas to take sannyas. For Arjuna was qualified to be the recipient of the Lord's instructions, which could not be taught to others. So it's not that Lord used Arjuna to teach the Brahmanas. That makes no sense. Okay. Why would Lord use Arjuna to teach only the Brahmanas? So therefore, Sarvadharman Parityajya does not mean take up to karma sannyas, because all the while Krishna has discouraged karma sannyas. So Krishna said that what is that? Karma yogascha nishreyasa karavubhav tayostu karma sannyasat karma yogo vishishyate. So he says, yes, even though karma yoga and karma sannyas both can give the result of liberation, but of the two, karma yoga is better than karma sannyas. So don't become detached from the fruits of the activities, but do not give up your duties. That's what Krishna said all the while. So suddenly Krishna is not going to change that and say Sarvadharman Parityajya means take up karma sannyas, because that would be direct contradiction of what he has been presenting throughout. Okay. Nor should one explain the meaning of Parityajya in this verse as merely give up the results of activities. So one should not say, oh, Sarvadharman Parityajya means not give up the activity, but give up only the fruits of the activities. So Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti says, no, one should not explain like this also. Why? For it is said, Devarishi Bhutapta Ninam Pitranam Nakinkaro Nayam Rinicharajan Sarvatmanaya Sharanam Sharanyam Gato Mukundam Parihritya Kartam. O King, one who has given up all Varnashram duties, Parihritya Kartam, and has taken full shelter of the lotus feet of Mukunda, Sarvatmana Mukundam Sharanam Gataha, Sharanyam, who offers all shelter to all. Na kinkaro nayam rinicha. He is not a debtor or a servant of the Devatas, Rishis, Bhuta, Apta, Nrinam, Pitranam. So he very clearly mentions that one who gives up Varnashram duties and takes up full shelter of the lotus feet of Mukunda, he is not indebted to or servant to the Devatas, great sages, ordinary living beings, their relatives or Pitrus. Another verse. Martyo yada tyakta samasta karma niveditatma vichikirshito me tadamritatvam pratipadyamano mayatma bhuyaya chakalpate vai. A person who gives up all fruitive activities and offers himself entirely to me, eagerly desiring to render service unto me, achieves liberation from birth and death and is promoted to the status of sharing my own opulences. Okay. And again, another verse he quotes. Famous verse, we have seen it many times. Tavat karmani kurvita na nirvidyeta yavata mat kata shravanadavva shraddha yavan na jayate. Na nirvidyeta yavata. As long as one does not become detached from daily and periodic duties, shraddha yavan na jayate, or has not awakened his faith, mat kata shravanadavva, in hearing topics about me, tavat karmani kurvita. Till then, one must perform one's prescribed duties of varnashram. So, what is the qualification for giving up varnashram duties and performing bhakti? He must be convinced that I don't need to perform karma jnana yoga, just performing bhakti is sufficient. Okay, and he must have faith in the process of bhakti. Okay, when he has reached this stage, then such a person can give up karma or varnashrama duties. That's what he says. He quotes another verse. Ajnayaiva gunandoshan mayadishtan apiswakan dharman santyajya yassarvan mam bhajet sacha sattama. So Krishna says that a devotee very clearly understands that the ordinary religious duties, means varnashram duties, prescribed by me in various Vedic scriptures, possess favorable qualities that purify the performer, and he knows that neglect of such duties constitutes a discrepancy in one's life. Okay. So it's not that a devotee does not know the importance of varnashrama and the unfavorable results that one gets by neglecting varnashrama. He knows that. But despite knowing that, what does he do? Dharman santyajya yassarvan. But he still gives up all these varnashram duties, mam bhajet, and just worships Krishna. Now, is Krishna angry with such a person? Because despite knowing the benefits of performing varnashrama and the unfavorable sinful reactions that one gets for not performing varnashrama duties, if he gives up that varnashram duties and just worships Krishna, wouldn't Krishna be upset with him? Krishna says, no, such a sattama. Rather, I consider that person to be the best amongst all living entities. This is what Krishna says. So the meaning of the word should thus be explained using all these statements of the Lord with no contradiction. So he says, what is Sarvadharman Parityajya mean? In order to establish that, Srila Vishwanath Thakur quotes 4 verses. Devarshi Bhutapta, Martyo Yada Takta Samasta Karma, Tavat Karmani Kurvita, Ajna Yaiva Gunandoshan. Famous verses, all 4. At least 3 of them are very, very often quoted by our acharyas. Okay. So this is the meaning of Sarvadharman Parityajya. So the meaning of the word Sarvadharman Parityajya should be understood in this context, in this way. Okay. So the meaning can indeed be understood correctly by the prefix pari, which means completely. So, tyajya, Sarvadharman Parityajya means one should completely give up the varnashram obligations. That's what he means. Surrender only to me. Mam ekam sharanam vraja. What does this mean? This means that there should be no worship of devatas, ashtanga yoga, jnana or dharma or other elements in that surrender. Okay. It should not be covered with karma jnana yoga or worship of the devatas. So Krishna says, previously I have said that you are not qualified for Ananya Bhakti, which is the highest type of Bhakti, and that you are qualified for Karma Mishra Bhakti. When I said, whatever you do, whatever you eat, do it as an offering to me. Yat karoshi, yadashnasi, yadjuhosi, dadasiyat, yat tapasyasi kaunteya, tatkurushva madarpanam. Previously I spoke like that. But now, by my great mercy, you have qualification for Ananya Bhakti. Of course, Arjuna is not just an Ananya Bhakta, he is a perfected devotee. As we have oftentimes discussed, none of these instructions of Bhagavad Gita are are applicable for Arjuna. Okay. The uh, the instructions on karma are not applicable for Arjuna because Arjuna is a devotee. The instructions on jnana are not applicable for Arjuna because Arjuna is a devotee. The instructions on yoga are not applicable for Arjuna because Arjuna is a devotee. The instructions on karma mishra bhakti, jnana mishra bhakti, yoga mishra bhakti are not available for, are not applicable for Arjuna because Arjuna is a pure devotee. And even the instructions on pure devotional service are not applicable for Arjuna because Arjuna is not a sadhaka. Instructions are needed only for sadhakas. Sadhakas practice based on vidhi and nished, do's and don'ts, because they may not have natural attraction. But a perfected devotee who is driven by prema, he does not need instructions to practice. He follows his heart. So practically, in one sense, none of the 700 verses of, amongst those 700 verses, all the verses which have been spoken in the form of instruction to Arjuna are actually not meant for Arjuna. Because Arjuna is a perfected devotee who practices or who follows his heart, which is filled with bhakti, filled with prema, not just bhakti, prema bhakti. Okay. So that is Arjuna. So this whole episode of Bhagavad Gita is happening under the influence of Yogamaya. So Yogamaya is putting Arjuna under this kind of a situation, making him think like this so that Bhagavad Gita can come out for the benefit of this whole world. Okay. That's why um, that is why Arjuna is asking such questions. So now, even when Krishna says that previously you are not qualified for Ananya Bhakti, you are qualified for Karma Mishra Bhakti. I mean, it means only under the influence of Yoga Maya. That's how it should be understood. But now, by my great mercy, you have qualification for Ananya Bhakti. That Ananya Bhakti can only be attained by the costless mercy of my Ekantika Bhakta. Even though that is a rule I myself have made, I am now giving that mercy myself, breaking my own vow as I did with the fight with Bhishma. Yes, the rule that I have made, the general rule is that Ananya Bhakti can be obtained only through the agency of my Ananya Bhakta. Okay. But I am breaking that rule here. I am breaking that rule here. I will I am directly giving you Shuddha Bhakti. And by following my orders, you should not fear some loss on your part in giving up Nitya Naimittika karmas. So, which means give up Sarvadharman Parityajya means give up Nitya Naimittika karmas. That's what it means. Very clearly, he says. Okay. Okay. Just give me 1 second. Okay. So now he says the order to perform these Nitya Naimittika karmas was given by me in the form of the Vedas. Krishna says, I only gave, okay, I only gave the order to perform Nitya Naimittika karmas in the form of the Vedas, in the form of the Dharma Shastras. Okay. Now I am ordering you to give them all up completely. Now it is my order. Okay. Now Krishna may say, Arjuna may say, is there sin in not performing your Nitya karmas? Just see what Shri Vishnu Jagadaguru writes. He says, no, Rather, the opposite. In performing Nitya Karmas, you will commit sin because of disobeying my direct order. I am telling you, give it up. And you are telling, no, no, I will do that also. And Krishna is telling, no, 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 you should not do it. And he's saying, no, 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 I will do bhakti and also I will also do, mm, the Nitya Naimitika karma. He says, no, this is my order. You shall not do it. Okay. You shall not do it. That's what he says. If someone surrenders to you, he becomes dependent like an animal purchased for a price. He does whatever you make him do. If you put him in one place, he stays there. If you offer him food, he eats. These are the characteristics of surrender. But the Vayu Puran says, Anukulyasya sankalpaha pratikulyasya varjanam rakshishyati iti vishwaso goptritve varanam tata atmanikshepakarpanye shadvida sharanagatihi. Okay. So Anukulya means conduct which is pleasing to the Lord and according to the scriptures. Pratikulya means the opposite. Goptritva means to think of the Lord and no one else as one's protector. One should have faith, Vishwasa, that in times when one's existence is threatened, the Lord will give protection, as in the case of Gajendra and Draupadi. Nikshepanam, as in Atma Nikshepa, means employment of one's gross and subtle bodies for Krishna's service. Akarpanya means that one should not make a show of one's own humility. Surrender consists of performance of these 6 items in relation to the Lord. Okay. This is Sharanagati. So, then Arjuna says, okay, then starting today, if I surrender to you, I should then do whatever you say, whether it is good or bad. If you make me perform dharma, then I will not worry at all. But if you engage me in adharma, since you are the Supreme Lord and can do whatever you want, then what will happen to me? Please tell me. So he says that, look, you are the Supreme Lord, you can do whatever you want. If I surrender to you, whatever you say, I will have to do. So, but I am willing to do that. But if I do, if you ask me to do the right thing, if you ask me to perform dharma, then I am safe. If you ask me to perform adharma, then what will happen to me? Okay. What will happen to me? You please tell me. Krishna responds. He says, I will free you from all sinful reactions, from whatever reactions exist from the far past and recent past, and from whatever reactions arise from acts, I will make you perform in the future. I will free you from all sinful reactions. This is not impossible for me to do, even though it cannot be done by anyone else to whom you surrender. No one else to whom you surrender can say, Aham tvam sarva papebhyo mokshayishyami. But I can tell. Taking you as the means, I am giving instructions to the whole world. Do not feel grief for your own welfare or that of others. May you and all other people giving up all dharmas, your own and everyone else's, absorbing your thoughts and actions in me, surrendering to me, remain in contentment. This is what is Krishna's desire. May everyone, okay, may everyone giving up all their dharmas, your own dharma and someone else's dharma, absorbing your thoughts and actions in me, surrendering to me, may you just remain in contentment. This is my desire. Okay, this is what Krishna says. I myself have accepted the burden of freeing you from sin and freeing you from samsara. It is my responsibility. That's why I said, Ananyas chintayanto mam yejana paryupasate tesham nityabhiyuktanam yogakshemam vahamyaham. But I carry the burden of supply and maintenance of those who desire constant association with me and who, thinking only of me, worship only me. Okay. But someone should not say, oh, Krishna, I am a devotee. How can I throw my own burden on my master and trouble him? Krishna says, no, it is not a trouble at all. I am most affectionate to my devotee. Nothing else remains to be instructed. Thus, the scripture has been concluded. He says, this is the conclusion of the scripture. Sarvadharman parityajya mamekam sharanam vraja aham tvam sarvapapebhyo mokshayishyami ma shuchah. That's what he says. So, okay. Any quick discussion points, comments, questions based on whatever Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur has commented here on this verse. Sarvadharman parityajya mamekam sharanam vraja aham tvam sarvapapebhyo mokshayishyami ma shuchah. So he starts this verse, the commentary of this verse itself in a very beautiful way. Arjuna asks, Krishna, you said that I have to do manmana, bhava madbhakto, madhyaji mam namaskuru. I am willing to do all of that. But just tell me whether if I am supposed to do all these things while parallelly performing my varnashram duties or I need not perform them. Krishna clearly says here, Sarvadharman parityajya mamekam sharanam vraja. When I say surrender unto me, give up all other dharmas, including your varnashrama dharma, nitya naimittika karmas, and surrender unto me. This is how he starts this whole commentary. Any quick discussion points, comments, questions, anything anyone would like to share as so basically, very clearly says what is expected of devotees. As Srila Rupa Goswami says, Ananushthanato dosho bhaktyanganam prajayate. Na karmanam akaranad esha bhakti adhikarinam. Nishiddha acharato daivat prayaschittam tu na uchitam. Iti Vaishnava Shastranam rahasyam tadvidam matam. He says in Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu, Ananushthanato dosho bhakti anganam prajayate. Bhakti anganam ananushthanato. By not performing the limbs of bhakti or the important limbs of bhakti, doshaha prajayate. It gives birth to dosha or fault. Na karmanam akaranad. But by not performing nityanaimittika karmas, there is no fault. Nishiddha acharato daivat prayaschittam tu na uchitam. If by chance a devotee commits a forbidden activity, he should not be performing the karmakandiya type of atonements because bhakti in itself acts as the atonement. Iti Vaishnava Shastranam rahasyam tadvidam matam. This is the conclusion of those who understand the secret conclusions of the Bhakti Shastras. This is what Srila Rupa Goswami says. Okay. So, yeah, Shyam Mukund Prabhu is asking about the about one of the commentary points which Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur makes here. Even though where Krishna says, even though that is a rule I myself have made, I am now giving the mercy myself, breaking my own vow as I did in the fight with Bhishma. So, I mean, this is not directly what Krishna says, but this is what directly Krishna means. But someone may say, well, if this is what Krishna means, but Krishna, the war itself has not started. Where has he killed Bhishma? But in that case, we can say that on this day of Brahma, Krishna has not, Krishna has not attacked Bhishma. But in the previous day, Krishna has attacked Bhishma. And Krishna is not directly telling to Arjuna by giving the example of Bhishma. This is just the explanation of This is what Krishna is thinking while speaking. This is the explanation of Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur. Okay. And yes, Arjuna may not remember. That's what Krishna says. Bahuni me vyatitani janmani tavacharjuna tanyaham veda sarvani nattam veta parantapa. Oh Arjuna, we both have taken many, many births together. I remember all of that, but you don't remember. Okay. Like that. So in the previous day of Brahma, Krishna must have killed Bhishmadev, or he must have attacked Bhishmadev, and he remembers that. So, so therefore, there is no contradiction here. Okay. Keshav Priyamati.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, as usual, mind-blowing purport by Srila Vishwanath Thakur Prabhuji. Prabhuji, I'm just wondering, this shloka, all the acharyas could give this way only now, Prabhuji, like giving up dharma, sarva dharma means varnashrama dharma only, or that dharma can be given in different way, Prabhuji?
All the acharyas means which acharya?
Our sampradaya acharyas, or any acharyas for that sake, even other acharyas.
No, the other acharyas in the Sri Vaishnava Madhva Sampradayas, they may not exactly give this kind of an explanation because generally Varnashrama is not, is kind of, to some extent, it is favorable for Aishwarya Bhakti. So they do encourage practice of Varnashrama, at least to some extent.
So this Sarva Dharma can be interpreted it can be explained some other way, Prabhuji, then?
Yeah, I don't think they explain it as it refers to Varnashrama Dharma also.
Oh.
Yeah. Because it can refer to, the same verse can have multiple facets of meanings. So depending upon the qualification of the recipient, accordingly such meanings are given by the acharyas of different sampradayas.
Because this looks like a very, very commanding verse by the Lord, Prabhuji, from after Manmana Bhavat Magdo. Like, give up everything, I will take care of you, don't doubt. Like that it is given, Prabhuji.
Yeah.
So that is,
but
that
how
is
do you
why
explain Sarva Dharman? The different acharyas may explain it different way.
Different way. Okay, Prabhuji. And Prabhuji here, Baldev Vidya Bhushna also gave commentary, no, Prabhuji. And he gives on Sanishta, Parinishthita, Nirapeksha, no, Prabhuji. So this particular shloka is for Nirapeksha devotee, Prabhuji.
See, Nirapeksha means what?
He is doing bhakti, but he gives up duties like that only, no, Prabhuji. Parinishthita means they will be doing bhakti
Parinishthita
also.
means they will perform Varnashrama just to set the example for others. Their performance of Varnashrama is not, their performance of Varnashrama is not for, what to say, not that they perform it as their sadhana, but purely for Loka Sangraha purpose, they may perform the Varnashrama duties. Whereas the Nirapeksha devotees, they may not even perform, they may not have that obligation of, setting for performing Loka Sangraha. So pure devotees are of two categories. One are Parinishthita, another is Nirapeksha. The Parinishthitas, they perform Varnashrama duties just to set the example for others. Whereas the Nirapeksha devotees, they do not have such obligation.
But Parinishthita devotees, can they go to Golaka, Prabhuji? Like our Sampradaya is also Parinishthita devotees, includes Parinishthita devotees, Prabhuji?
Yeah. So to perform one's Varnashrama duties, to set right example for others, if that is a need, can be done and should be done. So that does not disqualify one from being a pure devotee qualified to
Ambarish,
go to...
like King Ambarish, Prabhuji,
Yeah,
Ambarish.
Bharat Maharaj, Ambarish Maharaj, all of them.
Oh, oh. But they can also achieve Krishna Prema.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
mean
why
Braja
not?
Krishna.
Yes, 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 yes.
Oh, oh, oh. So only
But,
Sanishcha is the basic level devotees, Prabhuji. Other
but,
two, uh, yes,
but
please.
they should not think that if
Hmm.
I don't perform Varnashram, I cannot progress
Ah.
on the path of bhakti. If they think like that, they
Hmm.
cannot go to Goloka Vrindavan.
Hmm.
They should have a very clear understanding. I am doing it only for others, not for myself.
Lokasangraha. Hmm.
If that understanding is not there,
Hmm.
if he thinks that, oh, I am not a pure devotee, I have to perform Varnashrama. Oh, I am not qualified for pure devotional service, I have to perform Varnashrama. Varnashrama only will take me to pure devotional service. And all these kinds of, with any of these kinds of understandings, if he performs Varnashram duties, then done. Then the
Hmm.
door of Goloka is tightly shut for such a person.
Hmm. Yeah,
He
Prabhuji, but
cannot
Hmm.
think
Hmm.
that it is essential for, he cannot think these activities even remotely as my sadhana. The
Hmm.
moment he thinks, the doors of Goloka are shut for such a person.
Hmm. Some devotees argue in Prabhuji, Chaturvani Maya Shrishtam. So this is also given by Krishna. And now you people are telling you need not do. So here Acharya himself gives the explanation of Prabhuji. Krishna is telling,
Yeah.
yes, I only gave that. Now I am telling you not to do that. Like that
Yeah,
Acharya
I
is
mean,
explaining.
I don't know why this should be very difficult to understand.
Hmm.
So it is like, do they argue like this that NCRT has only published the commerce books also and science books also. So science people should also read commerce books and commerce people should also read science books. Do they argue like that?
No, they cannot. But
I mean,
this
no,
I
this
have
is,
heard this Prabhuji.
I can't understand this argument.
Hmm.
Whatever Krishna prepared, is it for you? Krishna
Hmm.
created poison also. Is it for you?
No.
You know? So,
Hmm.
I mean, this kind of argument is a ridiculous argument. I will not accept this argument.
Hmm.
Because if you say that Krishna created, you are rejecting means Krishna created. So we are not rejecting.
Hmm.
Krishna created and he has created it for people of particular adhikar. Whatever
Hmm.
Krishna created for my adhikar, I will accept. Didn't
Hmm.
that same Krishna tell Uddhava, Tavat karmani kurvita na nirvidyeta yavata matkata shravanadavva shraddha yavanna jayate. Didn't that same Krishna tell Uddhava,
Hmm.
Devarshi Bhutaptananam Pitranam Nakinkaro Nayam
Prabhuji, for
Ranicharajan.
that they are telling it is for pure devotees. Whenever we quote this, they say, no, no, it is for pure devotees. You're still, first question they ask us is, have you come out of your bodily concept? Have you understood
Okay.
yourself as a soul? So till that you have the body. So
Uh,
these Varnashrama dharma is for body. Where someone is this human body, what they are
mm,
supposed to do is given in Varnashrama. So till
mm.
you become pure devotee and become like completely come out of your bodily concept, you're supposed to do for your maintenance of body. This is the
Yes.
this argument
Yes.
completely given.
This is their commentary.
Uh,
If our acharyas have given a different commentary, then I will choose to follow the acharyas commentary and not their commentary.
mm, yeah, Prabhuji.
If it was meant only for perfected devotees and not practicing sadhakas, then why
Mm,
these verses are quoted in Bhakti Rasamrit Sindhu in Vaidhi Sadhana section by Srila Rupa Goswami?
mm, mm. Okay, Prabhuji. But Prabhuji, like most of Prabhupada takes a purport from all the acharyas, Prabhuji. That is what he has said. Like almost everything what he gives from other acharya for authenticity, he has taken from Purva acharyas, Prabhuji. So in
Hmm.
this Sarva Dharman Parityaja, definitely Prabhupada knows this explanation of Shiloshan Thakur, no, Prabhuji. He has read,
Hmm.
like he would have
Hmm.
thoroughly undergone this
Yeah.
explanation.
Yeah.
So somehow the other. Prabhupada has not made this clear as Vishnu Thakur has said, na Prabhuji, is very clearly in this
No,
explanation.
Prabhupada has made it very clear.
Oh,
Prabhupada in his teachings,
mm,
when he has given sadhana to his practitioners,
mm.
has he given Nitya Naimittika karmas, even one of Nitya Naimittika karmas as a part of the sadhana?
No, no, Prabhuji, no.
Then isn't it so clear? If it was so important, you would have given it.
Mm. For that also they say one project, if I tell that you will scold me. That for that also they say he was preaching in foreign land. Those people don't know about Nitya Naimitika Karma. So Prabhupada didn't tell that. Like that also they're telling project.
Okay,
But
then
I
I will tell.
myself,
I will tell. Okay, yes, you follow what you are convinced. I will follow what I am convinced.
yeah, yes, Prabhuji. Okay, but at least for
That's
our,
okay.
mm,
See, I am clear
mm,
from what it is mentioned. See,
mm.
some people, when they have already decided what to do, we cannot do anything.
It is not about already decided, Prabhuji. Like they also, I feel innocently they don't understand this completely. It's
No,
not that stubbornness.
where did
Mm,
Prabhupada, at least the second half of his preaching was in India.
mm,
Where
mm.
has he given did he even teach once how to do Sandhya Vandanam
No, Prabhuji.
or Pitru Tarpanas? Where has he taught?
Mm,
So, uh, so I
mm,
don't understand. So you will
mm,
say that Prabhupada, uh, then practically, so see, when you ask these people
mm,
that uh, if I don't perform, okay, so or if the Western people,
mm,
let's say your own Guru Maharaj,
mm,
okay,
mm,
he does not perform his Varnashram duties. If
mm,
till the end, if he does not perform, will
mm.
he go back home, back to Godhead or not? I've asked this question to practically everyone who were adamantly speaking like this.
Prabhuji, for
This
that they
once,
say he is pure, like he is elevated person. He can be like that, not you.
uh-huh.
That is the point, Prajit, they're telling. If we
Okay,
quote like this, they
hmm.
say they are all pure devotee. I mean, they are elevated people.
Okay,
For
fine.
them, there is no
Okay,
duty,
okay,
but you
all
are
that is
in a
fine. Okay,
neophyte
I am
devotee.
not. So apart
Mm.
from Shravanam, Kirtanam, etc., what all they are expecting me to do?
Prajit, according to the present Varnam, I mean, here we are in some communities, we are identifying ourselves with certain caste, no, Prabhuji.
Hmm,
All of us
hmm,
here, at least in
hmm,
India. So,
hmm.
according to that, we are supposed to do all the duties like that, they say, Prabhuji.
Acha. So they themselves are doing all that.
Whatever possible, we are supposed to do like
Why,
that.
why whatever possible? Why don't you do everything?
Hmm. Because everything is not possible like that. I asked this also, Prabhuji.
Hmm.
Whatever,
So
for
whatever
example,
means what all they are doing.
that I know, like for according to the community, there are certain rules, no, Prabhuji. Each community, there will be some rules, no, Prabhuji, caste and communities.
Ah. So those rules and all we have to do, they are telling.
Yeah, till you become pure devotee,
Ah.
your that is the
So if I
only
keep doing
argument
that, I
with.
will become pure devotee. That's what they're telling.
No, no, we have to follow all these things, Prabhuji, chanting, and all these things. Everything we are supposed to do for sure. Whatever Prabhupada
Hmm.
said,
Hmm.
and this also like we should not prematurely give up varnashrama because that is for pure devotees alone. That
Prematurely
instructions.
give up Varnashrama.
Mm.
Who is actually practicing Varnashrama? To give up. First, you have to practice to give it up.
Mm.
So
Which is
you
at least
mean to
something
say,
we do know, Prabhuji. Like some samskaras are still being followed in every community according to their caste and community. Some samskar like when a child is born, like that. Many rules are there, no, Prabhuji. In
okay.
pregnancy, child is born, and they'll shave the head. All those things, no, Prabhuji.
Hmm.
Piercing the ears, something
Hmm.
like that. Those samskaras are there, no, Prabhuji.
Yeah, I mean,
Mm.
okay. See,
Mm.
those are not mandatory for devotees. If they want, they can do it. See, I
Mm.
see it this way only
Mm.
because you may have received the seed of devotion, your other family members may not have received. So,
Mm, mm,
whatever is
mm.
that family rituals
Yeah,
for
that is
Loka
understood,
Sangraha
Prabhuji.
purpose, you can
Yeah,
do.
that you have made very clear in almost every session, Prabhuji. That is not what they are arguing, Prabhuji. That they are telling, till you become a pure devotee, you have to do all these things. If it is that, if it is for Loka Sangraha, then very much I understand, Prabhuji. We should not. Krishna himself says,
Okay,
don't
so
disturb the
now my
society.
question is,
Mm.
very simple question.
Mm.
Till you become a pure devotee means pure means what?
Like rising above three modes.
Which means which stage of devotional
Bodily
service?
concept, Prabhuji. What they say is, till you
Bodily
realize
concept. So
completely
till
as a soul.
okay, so that is at what
Mm.
stage of devotional service?
That will come slowly if you follow Prabhupada's
Yeah,
instructions
where? What
slowly.
stage? Nishtha, Ruchi, Asakti, Bhava, Prema, which stage?
Prabhuji, that I don't know what they mean by that, Prabhuji.
Okay, let's say at
Mm.
Nishtha. Okay,
Okay,
so
Prabhuji.
now my understanding, so okay. Now the question is, if they are also practicing karma and bhakti, according to them, is that mixed devotional service or pure devotional service?
Prabhuji, they are telling what we are doing is now mixed devotional service only because we have
Okay,
material
so
desires.
which means,
Mm.
according to them, till one reaches Nishtha,
Mm.
uh, starting
Mm.
from Shraddha,
Shraddha.
Sadhusanga, Bhajana Kriya,
Mm.
Anartha Nivritti, these are all mixed devotional service. And
Mm.
actually, pure devotional service starts from Nishtha only. Is that what they mean?
Mm. Maybe Prabhuji, I have not asked this way, but
Is that how Bhakti Srila Rupa Goswami is described in Bhakti Rasam Sindhu? Does he
no,
say
Prabhuji.
that he says the stages of Uttama Bhakti are Shraddha, Sadhusanga, Bhajana Kriya, Anartha Nivritti, Nishtha, Ruchi, Asakti, Bhava, Prema. He doesn't
Mm.
say till Nishtha it is mixed devotional service and
Mm.
only from Nishtha onwards it is Uttama Bhakti. This is their
Mm.
own concocted conclusion.
Basically, everything boils down to this understanding, Pooji. That anyone asks, wants to hear your lecture, you suggest the first one, no, Pooji. Are you sure Bhakti is pure?
Yeah.
So everything boils down to that only, Pooji. What they think is, now also we have, because of conditional nature, we have material desires. So we
No,
are
that
not.
is why material
Mm,
desires
mm.
means anartha or abhilasha.
Abhilasha, yeah, that clarification only you have given.
Unless they are willing to have this conversation, you
Mm.
cannot convince them.
Yes, Prabhuji. They're not willing to because they're seniors to me, Prabhuji. So I'm not that very eligible to talk all these things.
Yeah, you don't have to.
Mm.
We are not there to go and,
No, no, Prabhuji, when
explain.
Bhagavatam class, when everyone in the
That's
they're
okay. See,
instructed,
when they
they just
have,
ask us a doubt only, Prabhuji.
see,
Mm.
when you know what is their conviction, when you know what they will answer, though there is no need to ask in a public forum.
Mm.
First thing, when
Mm.
you ask in a public forum,
Mm.
it will irritate them only.
Mm. Mm. Mm.
It can, certain things when you know that
Prabhuji,
they have a
even in a
different
private
understanding,
discussion, also the same, Prabhuji. Whatever
then you should
forum.
not be talking to them about
Yeah,
that at
yeah,
all.
yeah.
Because
Yeah, I
anyways, they don't
stopped.
see you as the authority at all.
Yeah, Prabhuji, that you said, and I got it. I stopped it, Prabhuji. But since this shloka comes for my own clarification, I ask those questions which they asked me, Prabhuji, so that I can have some clarity. And you're given
Yeah,
it
I mean,
perfectly.
all I am telling is just read what the acharyas say,
Mm.
okay? Not what you think is this thing. If it was not meant for sadhakas, then these verses would not be quoted by the acharyas in the section of sadhana bhakti.
Mm.
They would have, and if you say it is meant only for perfected
Mm.
devotees anyways don't need any instructions.
Yes, Prabhuji.
So then who is it meant for?
Us only, Prabhuji. Sadhakas only.
So, so then these kind of verses have no meaning because anyway sadhakas is not meant for sadhakas and instructions are anyways not meant for siddhas.
Mm.
So then such verses should never be there in the form of
Mm.
instruction.
Mm. Correct, Prabhuji. Okay. Anyways, thank you so much, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Okay, there are some more questions, comments in the uh, chat box. Let's take them. If this was very important, then it would have been explained by our Acharya somewhere, but nowhere it is mentioned, interestingly, right? So the argument boils down to who is pure devotee, perfected devotee or practicing devotee. purity of faith versus strength of faith. That's why I keep on hammering the same point again and again. You know, the whole problem comes with mixing or, misunderstanding the concept of purity of faith and strength of faith. Unless there is clarity on this subject matter, this will always lead to misunderstanding. Krishna says that one who has taken shelter of me and not one who has become a pure devotee in Shloka, in Devarshi Bhutaptaranam Pitanam. Yeah, that's what he says. Okay. Any other quick discussion points, comments, questions? Okay. Shivakumar Prabhu says, he suddenly got a thought. Let's see what his thought is. To the discussion of Sarvadharman Parityajya, devotees arguing that we are not pure devotees, still Anartha Nivritti. It is because of the conditioning that they are arguing this way, although they are actually practicing pure devotion, or their bhakti internally is compromised. I don't know. We will have to observe a lot of things. We will have to observe a lot of things. There is a chance that maybe their bhakti is actually compromised, or it may be that just that, they are speaking like this, but they'll say, you have to practice Varnashram, you have to practice Varnashram, you have to practice Varnashram. But what they're actually practicing is bhakti only anyways. So what they mean by Varnashram oftentimes is, oh, you cannot give up family responsibilities. Oh, is that what you mean by Varnashram? Yes, yes. Then we agree. Yes, if that is how you define Varnashram, okay, then yes, I agree. The family responsibility should not be given up by devotees or prematurely given up by devotees. That I agree. But who said that taking care of family or taking care of family responsibilities is exclusively Varnashrama? Bhaktas are also supposed to, that is considered to be the secondary limbs of bhakti. We have discussed this many times. Okay. It just means how you, in what mood you take care. That is very important. Okay. So, therefore, taking care of family, executing their occupational duties, these are not just exclusively Varnashrama duties. They are there as a part of bhakti also, as secondary limbs of bhakti. Okay. So, therefore, yeah, oftentimes this whole Varnashrama discussion, in many cases, at least 70-80% of the cases can be resolved if you just ask them what is their definition of Varnashram. Mostly they will agree with the conclusions that we come to. It is mostly a linguistic issue. They mean something else by the word Varnashram. We mean something else. So once the definition is clarified, I think both parties generally agree. Only in some rare cases do people only in some rare cases do people, you can say, like really mean that we have to do all those Nitya Naimitika karmas also. It's a very rare case. Okay, Sita Kant Ram Prabhu.
Prabhuji, Harish Novi Dhanas Prabhuji. Prabhuji, regarding Sarvadharman Parityajya, like I have two questions. One is for Brahmachari preaching, and one more is for Gruvasa. So, Brahmachari, like youth preaching, when you start youth preaching, some devotees are interested. They start chanting 16 notes. Sometimes they are the only kid to their parents, and so they may be having some responsibilities, financial responsibilities. So preachers, they inspire them to join Brahmachari ashram. So can they, because Krishna is telling Sarvadharman Parityajya, can they take up, can they join like that, giving up all other obligations?
See, there are two things. There are two things. One is karmic obligation. Second is a generic sense of, you can say, gratitude. See, it's not that See, according to the general Varnashram system, if if parents do not fulfill their duty, and if children do not fulfill their duty, both of them get sinful reactions. Okay, according to the law of karma. In the case of devotees, they will not get any sinful reactions. But as a mark of gratitude, because they have received so much from their parents, as a mark of gratitude, they can definitely consider serving them. And bhakti need not just be practiced in the brahmacharya ashram. Bhakti can be practiced as grihasthas, as brahmacharis, as sannyasis, anyone, you know. So therefore, we don't say that, oh, you don't have to take care of your parents because Krishna says sarvadharman parityajya. Yeah, that is true. So not that I want to take care of my parents as a sense of karmic obligation, but someone can want to take care just so that, they wish to express their gratitude in that way. That's all. That's possible. And that is not like you have to give up your bhakti and take care of your parents. Just as a grihastha is not taking care of his children by giving up his bhakti. He's taking care of his children is a part of his practice of bhakti only, the secondary limbs. So that's how you understand.
Prabhuji, yes, Prabhuji. And one more Grostha case, okay, they are, they started Krishna consciousness, they came, they're coming to the temple, they're chanting 16 hours, so they're reading all the books. So at one point of time, the Grostha devotee is having wife and children, but he may feel inspired, okay, I don't want to earn money or just I want for basic needs and, so I don't want to, I'll give up the job and I will do some save in the temple. So these kind of things can be encouraged, probably.
Well, see, we may want to live a simple life, but there are other family members who are dependent on us, and their devotion, it may be good for our devotion to give up the job and join the temple, but it may affect the devotion of 3 or 4 other dependent members. So you have to consider the whole thing. We cannot selfishly think about only our devotion. If our choice will compromise the devotion of many others, or it may even break the devotion of other family members, then considering that, we may have to take a balanced decision, and not just a decision which we may think would be suitable for our Krishna consciousness alone.
Prabhuji, do they get any karmic reactions or any aparadhas because
No.
they're also devotees? And yes.
They can get offenses.
Yes,
They may get offenses, but they will not get any karmic reaction. The moment
So,
someone takes up to devotion, there is no karma.
Yes, Prabhuji. So they may get offenses, Prabhuji, which is more dangerous than the karmic reaction, Prabhuji.
Yeah, if they offensively do that, forcefully, just thinking that I don't care, my devotion is most important.
Yes, Prabhuji.
Whether my wife and children, they practice devotion or not, that is not my care. My devotion, whatever is best, I will do. If someone thinks like that, then definitely they will get offended. If they get offended, then we will get a reaction for that.
It is, Prabhuji. Fine, Prabhuji. Thank you, Prabhuji. Next.
Shiva Kumar, bro.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu. Dandavad pranams, Prabhu. Prabhu, one question I had, Prabhu, on the level of surrender, Prabhu. So, say an individual who has started practicing bhakti before marriage, Prabhu, and he has chosen to go down the path of moving on to full-time brahmacharya ashram versus somebody who has decided to get married, Prabhu. So in these two cases, somehow I have a notion that the person who has chosen the full-time devotee option he exhibits a more deep level of surrender, is a notion that I have, Prabhu, tied to the topic of this purity of faith itself, Prabhu. I just wanted to hear from you.
I don't think so. Not necessarily.
Mm.
Maybe, may not necessarily be. In my own personal observation,
Mm. Mm.
I cannot statistically support both cases.
Mm.
I have seen Grihastha devotees of extraordinary surrender
Okay.
and Brahmachari devotees of very pathetic surrender.
Okay.
So, I don't really subscribe to this conclusion at all.
Mm. 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 Okay. 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 Got it. Thank you.
Correct. Okay. There is another question in chat box. From a very limited devotee association at different levels, not everyone is interested or inclined to get into the nuances or depth of details. Also, the level of clarity to the extent it is discussed in your courses. I don't know. I cannot. I'm sure there must be forums where it is discussed quite deeply. So I don't think this is the only forum. Yes, Keshav Priyam.
Hareshna Prabhuji. Prabhuji, one practical question, Prabhuji. Prabhuji, when I am in a preaching position and I preach to many people, many devotees, many new people, Prabhuji, and if my understanding, if I say, yes, it is important, it's mandatory to do all your samskaras according to this, and if I preach in that way, uh, is it okay or it is wrong, Prabhuji?
Well, as long as you make sure
Mm.
that at least you preach a Vaishnava adaptation of that samskara.
Mm.
At least preach a Vaishnava adaptation of that samskara.
Mm.
Not that you get a Smartha Brahmana or Brahmanas from other sampradayas to perform a typical kind of samskara which may not be pure devotional.
Okay. But
So they
Vaishnava
come and
adaptation is
do
okay, Prabhuji.
yeah, Vaishnava adaptation is okay. Given in Satkriya Sara Deepika, and so Vaishnava adaptations are okay. But one should understand that these are not absolutely mandatory for devotees.
No, suppose if I feel it is mandatory and I normally if I feel that way, I will preach that way only, no, Prabhuji. That is what it happens, no, Prabhuji.
Everyone preaches
Yeah.
what they are convinced.
Yeah. So in that case, if a Vaishnava adaptation is done, it is at least better.
Yeah. It's okay. Vaishnava
Okay.
adaptations are okay.
Okay, Prabhuji, and if someone comes and asks me, Prabhuji, I am not going to tell them voluntarily, but if someone comes and asks me particularly, did you do all this? Should I do all these things? How to do like that? If they come and ask, no, Prabhuji, what should I say, Prabhuji?
If I were you, if they come and ask me,
Mm.
you ask two questions. If I
Mm.
have to do, then I
Mm.
will tell you don't necessarily have to.
Okay.
Or if the question is how to do, then I will
Mm.
tell, I don't know, but I can guide you to people who can guide you in this.
Yeah, Prabhuji, if I say it's not necessary, means if they go and ask another person and they say necessary, then that is the problem. That is why I'm asking. But very practically, I want to know to safeguard my own self, Prabhuji. When people around me are of that understanding, and I am in this understanding, if that many new people will be coming now, Prabhuji, they will ask me also. So in that case, I'm just little bewildered. What am I supposed to answer to such things?
So, you can tell that I don't know much. You can ask for more details. You can ask that devotee only.
Oh, that is better. Okay, Prabhuji. So, Prabhuji, if someone comes and ask us also to avoid all these things, we should keep quiet only, Prabhuji. We should not say it is not needed.
It depends on
Hmm.
um,
But I can say I didn't do that. I can say no. If they ask, did you do that? I can say no, Prabhuji, if I didn't do that.
yeah, you cannot tell a lie telling that yes, I did.
Yeah, that is my question. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, Prabhuji. Okay, Prabhuji. Thank you, Prabhuji.
Correct. Okay, there is a comment or question in the chat box. Let's take that. In my observation, those devotees who have passed like Yamuna Mataji, sannyasis, or even our God brothers like, yes, they left this world smoothly as explained here exactly by Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur Pad. We never saw they coming up to Nishta. Oh, what do you mean? Mother Yamuna was at the stage of Prabhupada himself when in those early days only Srila Prabhupada told that she is at the stage of Bhava, what to speak of Nishta. Then gradually other stages till the last breath and then passed. We have heard they went back home, back to Goloka. We were jubilant and hopeful seeing their passing away. Still, we are entangled in these rituals, samskaras and following, thinking we are not pure enough to leave them and surrender. Yeah, true. I agree. Yeah, these things have started coming up now, the last 10 years. It's not that, you know, now so many people are talking about it suddenly. Anyways, at least I am feeling that there is clarity from the way it has been explained by the acharyas. If others don't feel that clarity and they feel it has to be, let them do it. That's not a problem at all. At least say I am, for me, if I have to practice something, I have to be convinced. Then I practice. So otherwise, I can neither practice nor I can preach what I'm not convinced. Mother Gail.
Hi, Krishna Prabhu. Yeah, just a couple things. One, this term karmic obligation that you've mentioned is a term that applies only to those who have faith in Varnashram Dharma.
Yeah.
Okay. Also, this concept of a person having weak faith versus mixed faith. A person who is pure in their faith but is weak in it, right? Such a person, obviously, they will never feel obligated to perform, Dharma, Varnashram Dharma duties.
Yeah.
But the weakness might be manifest. Let's say the symptoms of their weak, pure faith is, we cannot say that they are, it's just that they are, let's say, unsteady in their devotional practices, because there may be a person who has a strong faith, but maybe due to their conditioning is also not very steady, let's say, in their devotional practices, right?
It can sometimes happen like that.
Yeah, and so because of that, would you say a better symptom of weak faith is that they just kind of leave the practice altogether? Or I'm just having a little trouble really being very clear on how weak faith looks sometimes.
Weak faith means very
when it's pure.
very lack They may lack clear knowledge of the scriptures, uh,
So okay, so
and the depth of faith may also be weak, which means if you give some other argument based on some other scriptures, they'll get bewildered. And so, oh, really, is that
Mhm.
what the Shastras say? Oh, but then later they'll think, oh, but my Guru Maharaj said like this, so I think I better follow what my Guru Maharaj only told. So they may not be able to reconcile the contradictions, but they say, okay, I cannot reconcile, but I better follow what my Guru Maharaj only says, like that.
that's
That is,
that's weak faith.
yeah. And it may take some time for them to come to that conclusion. In the meantime, they may get confused and they may get disturbed. It may affect their practice of devotional service also. But gradually, after wrangling for some time, they may come, okay, let me just follow what my Guru Maharaj says.
Well, if they're having such kind of confidence, right, in what their Guru Maharaj says, because they're not able to reconcile so many things,
Yeah.
that kind of chastity to their Guru Maharaj, that seems to exhibit some kind of strength right there, no?
Yeah. Yes.
So that's why I wouldn't, kind of classify that as such a weak
But
faith.
before they come to that conclusion, some good amount of time may pass when they kind of are in great confusion, which may affect actually their practice of bhakti also.
Yes.
They
So
may eventually come to that conclusion, but before coming to that conclusion, they may get disturbed and it may affect their practice and so on.
okay, so and that's of course why, not having so much knowledge will result in weak faith, because it will result in confusion, which will lead to you dropping the practice.
Yeah, that dropping the practice may be a temporary thing if it is actual weak faith.
Right. But
Yeah.
going back to the person saying, well, I can't reconcile, but I trust my Guru Maharaj. That person who says like that or feels like that, are you saying that person has weak faith or not?
Yeah, that's what. If he immediately comes to it, then it is stronger faith. But if he eventually comes after a few months or so, or a few weeks, when he gets really confused and all that, then that is weaker. So weak or strong are all relative terms. It's all,
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
Okay. I'm not sure this is the last time you'll hear this question from me, but because I have asked in the past also, but I'm just still trying to get a better idea of what weak faith looks like. But thank you, Prabhu.
Correct. Okay, there is another question or comment here. In other sampradayas, Upanayana samskaras takes place 4 to 5 hours minimum. How much time it takes in ISKCON sampradaya if we do? Here parents are sadhaka devotees, whereas the son is not uh, much into it, but he respects the parents' belief system. Yeah, they can do. How much time it takes, I don't know. Maybe it depends on the pujari, I don't know. How much time it takes to Upanayan samskar, I don't know. So if the son wants to get Upanayan samskar, they can do. That's not a problem. It's perfectly okay. Or if the other family members feel that Upanayana samskara is needed, they can do. I mean, it's perfectly fine. It's okay. For Loka Sangraha, you have to do certain things. If a sadhaka was not performing any karma duties before taking up to Krishna consciousness, and after taking up to Krishna consciousness is anyways not performing such karma rites, all his sins for not having performed before taking up to Krishna consciousness, are they taken care at the time of his taking up to pure devotional service? Yes. Right when he takes up to the practice of pure devotional service, from that point onwards, even for millions of lifetimes, if he had neglected the performance of karma and he might have accrued lot of sinful reactions, all of that is gone right at the moment he takes up to Krishna consciousness. Yeah, because he never believed in the karma shastra. Yeah. For before marriage, I don't understand. What is the meaning? Before marriage? What is the question? I don't understand, Mansi. Can you clarify what is the meaning of before marriage? I don't understand. Is that a question or a comment? Can you unmute yourself and speak? Manga Mataji.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, pranams Prabhuji. To
Yes.
perform the marriage, Prabhuji, for him, to
Hmm.
before the marriage to perform the Upanayana,
Yeah.
for that I am asking Prabhuji.
Yeah. See, I do
Because-
understand that.
Yeah.
See, in all likelihood, probably most of your family, other family members are probably not ISKCON devotees, right?
Yes, Prabhuji.
So you might as well perform his Upanayana Samskara the way it is performed in your family. That's fine, no problem.
Yeah, Prabhuji, but nowadays children are not willing to sit for those many hours and all. So, and we are devotees here, so we are, I'm just a contemplation. I'm thinking that if we can do in ISKCON, so is it possible? Will they perform
You
it?
mean even for one day, the child will not sit for so long?
He will, Prabhuji, we will oblige definitely. But still, I'm thinking the possibilities if we are now believing here rather than going to other sampradayas. So, can we ask here in the temple to perform it?
Yeah, you can.
Okay.
You can.
Because
But
I have heard some other devotees that here Prabhujis will perform Gro Pravesha ceremonies also, all those things for the devotees if they ask it and all. So that's why a thought process came to me that can we explore this here also? That's why I
yeah,
was
see, I don't have a problem with it. The only issue that I think is generally in Grihastha circles, what happens is looking at this, then everyone starts thinking that, Upanayana and other such samskaras are absolutely non-negotiable for devotees also. So when the temple becomes the center where it starts performing all these samskaras, I don't know. I'm still a little bit confused. Then
in ISKCON temple, they are providing the facilities, Prabhuji. They are giving on rent for the place and all for performing all these kind of activities. Recently, also, I've seen some people have performed this Upanayana over there. So I don't know any. I don't think that temple have any objections of doing that. My question is
no,
because
temple
we
will
are
not have.
believing.
Temple will not have objection.
Okay.
I am having an issue with temple openly. Okay, anyways, I don't know. This is a gray area.
Okay, Prabhuji.
There's a little
Because
bit
this
of a
is
gray
in
area.
Navi Mumbai Kharghar Prabhuji. There's a big temple has come up now recently.
Kharghar, yeah.
Yes, Prabhuji. We stay over there only here and we are associated with the temple. My main question is, we are devotees. Son is not into that kind of devotion towards this. He believes, he doesn't believe much, but respects whatever we want to do. He will definitely oblige and respects it. So can we do that for him? Is it if he is not into that too much of devotion of this kind? Is it will not be a sin or aparadha kind of thing?
It's okay. I mean, see, sin or aparadha comes if in depending on the mood with which you do it. If you think it's absolutely necessary, as a parent, definitely I have to do it. If we think like that, then it's a problem. Otherwise, just for Loka Sangraha purpose, if you do, I don't think it's okay. It's okay. We can do. No problem.
Even though we are sadhaka devotees, is it okay? Still we are
Sadhakas only, na?
sadhakas.
And yeah, of course, sadhakas are not obliged.
Okay.
Correct.
Thank you, Prabhu. Hare Krishna.
Yeah, this is unavoidable in many cases. Yeah. Because in many families, only Mataji may be a devotee and the rest are non-devotees and they don't believe in Karma Shastra also. Can they take at least Vaishnava way of adaptation? Yeah, they can. Yeah. If the family members who are not Krishna conscious, if they perform the funeral and Shraddha rites for a sadhaka who has left the body, is there any significance of these performances? Krishna has anyways told, when he says, I will take care of the devotee, he does not put a condition that provided your children perform proper Shraddha rites and to you every year. He doesn't say like that. Krishna's promise is unconditional. So if family members perform the Shraddha rites, that's perfectly fine. They can also be peaceful and satisfied. And the devotees also can be peaceful and satisfied because the person who has left the body has practiced Krishna consciousness, Krishna is going to take care of him. So let them be peaceful, let us be peaceful. Okay, we don't have to create an issue with the family members. No, we will not do. We are devotees, we will not do. We don't have to do that. In fact, we should not be doing it. Okay. We can, okay, you want to do Shraddha, we will do Shraddha. Yes, no problem. We will do it. No problem. But we do understand that I am doing it only for pacifying my family members. That's all. Like that. Okay. So, if there are no further discussion points, comments, or questions, we will pause here and continue this discussion next Friday. So, thank you all very much for your patient listening and your enthusiastic participation. Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur Pad ki jai, Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai. Hare Krishna. Thank you very much.